You've been lied to. They said kindness is strength, that vulnerability is virtue. But look around, the wolves are feasting, and you're still waiting to be rescued. Power is not given. It is taken. And only by those cold enough to take it without guilt. This isn't about healing, it's about erasing the weakness coded into you by cowards. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be feared, respected, remembered. If you're tired of playing by rules that keep you small, then it's time to rebuild yourself like a ruthless strategist. Subscribe now. Turn on the black bell of discipline. Because this isn't motivation, this is war. And war demands a new kind of man. You were not born weak, you were programmed to stay that way. From childhood, you were handed a script. Be nice, be moral, be agreeable. But those were chains disguised as character. You've built your life on a framework designed by people who feared power, not pursued it. That version of you, obedient, predictable, forgettable, it served their agenda, not yours. It's time to burn it. All of it. The approval seeking. The emotional dependency. The fake humility. What you've called balance was just fear in a suit. You don't need healing, you need a purge. The man who tries to grow while clinging to comfort only stretches his cage. But the one who erases everything and rebuilds from edge, he becomes untouchable. Let the pain sharpen you. Let the fire forge you. This is the death of the man you were, and the birth of the weapon you will become. Control is not pretending to be calm, it's owning every corner of the battlefield inside your head. You've spent your life reacting, bleeding out emotionally every time someone pulled your strings. That ends now. From this moment forward, you become a vault. No reaction becomes your new reaction. Your face, blank. Your tone, measured. Your silence, weaponized. Power isn't loud, it's composed. It waits. It watches. It moves only when precision demands it. Emotions are tools, not truths. Anger fuels you but never drives. Fear informs, but never defines. And sadness? You convert it into clarity. In a world designed to provoke, you will be the one who never flinches. Remember this law: if it triggers you, it owns you. If it owns you, it breaks you. But if you master it, you rule. From now on, you are your own handler. You control the moment before the response, because in that pause lies absolute power. You were taught to suppress the dark, to lock away the rage, the coldness, the brutal edge inside you. They told you it made you dangerous. They were right. But not in the way they meant. That darkness is not your flaw. It is your hidden arsenal. Machiavelli knew this. He warned that those who appear all virtue are the first to break when pressure comes. The strategist does not deny his shadow. He trains it, sharpens it, unleashes it with purpose. Every betrayal, every insult, every scar you've buried, those are not wounds. They are weapons waiting to be forged. Stop chasing light and pretending you're whole without it. Power is not about purity. It's about integration. The man who pretends to be all peace is the one who crumbles in war. But the man who's looked into his own abyss, and learned to command it, he becomes unstoppable. The goal is not to be harmless. It's to be precise. Cold when needed. Terrifying when necessary. Controlled always. Your darkness is not your enemy. It's your reserve army. Ready to move on your signal. Let the world fear what you've mastered. Most people stumble through life blind, not in sight, but in strategy. They don't observe, they assume. They don't study, they react. But the Machiavellian mind functions on a higher plane. It sees before it speaks. It gathers before it moves. And it never acts without data. Observation is your first weapon, and most undervalued. You don't walk into rooms to be noticed. You walk in to scan. Who's insecure? Who overcompensates? Who folds under silence? Who speaks too much, too fast, and reveals too many intentions? These are the tells of the weak. Most people are leaking their insecurities while performing confidence, and they don't even know it. The strategist sees everything. He tracks micro-shifts in body language, shifts in tone, mismatched energy. He knows when a compliment is bait, when silence is discomfort, when a smile is fear wearing a mask. This is not paranoia. It's perception. And Machiavelli understood that in a world built on manipulation and masks, your survival depends not on trust, but on clarity. You must train your eyes to study not just words but intent. Does their voice rise when you speak the truth? Do their pupils contract when you press for clarity? These are not coincidences. These are psychological breadcrumbs. And they will lead you to their weakness every time. Most men are so desperate to be liked that they never stop to ask who they're dealing with. But you watch. You let people reveal themselves. Because the man who reacts is a servant of the moment. But the man who sees is the architect of outcomes. Never assume morality. Never assume loyalty. These are often illusions carefully crafted to win your trust, and then extract your value. Understand this. What's said can lie. But patterns never do. The Machiavellian strategist studies people like maps, reading every curve, every trap, every silent signal. That's how he moves undetected and strikes with precision. Let your silence confuse. Let your gaze unsettle. Let your presence disarm without lifting a single finger. You don't intimidate with aggression. You dominate with awareness. Real dominance is quiet. It doesn't need to announce itself. It simply watches long enough to control everything it sees. Speak less. Study more. Speak last, and when you do, let it shift the air. This is the power of the cold eye. Unblinking. Unapologetic. Unstoppable. You were told to be yourself. But Machiavelli would laugh at that advice, because that's what keeps men weak, exposed, and easily dismantled. The truth is brutal. No one rises in this world without wearing masks. Power is not in revealing who you are, it's in controlling what others see. The wise man becomes whoever the moment requires, without hesitation, without guilt. Adaptation is not deceit, it is dominance. Machiavelli said it clearly, a ruler must be both the fox and the lion, cunning enough to deceive, strong enough to destroy. But only fools show both. The strategist learns to wear masks like armor, not to pretend, but to protect and position himself. You must master the performance. Your smile should calm, your silence should threaten, and your presence should feel engineered, not accidental. This isn't about being fake, it's about being fluid. You must become unreadable. Predictability is death to the man who seeks power. Tell them what they want to hear. Feed their assumptions. Mirror their energy. And underneath, remain lethal. You don't lie, you maneuver. You don't confess, you calibrate. Every environment is a stage, and every interaction is a test of perception. At work, be the cooperative ally, until you take control. In conflict, appear shaken, while planning your checkmate. This is not manipulation. It's protection in a world wired to exploit the transparent. Keep your real self sacred. Guard it like a vault. Show only what builds leverage. And when it's time to strike, remove the mask, not to reveal vulnerability, but to deliver precision. Mystery is power. People cannot attack what they cannot define. Let others boast about being real. You'll walk in silence, and command the room. Start now. Pick 3 masks and master them. The diplomat, smooth, agreeable, unreadable. The phantom, silent, unsettling, unpredictable. The king, poised, dominant, unquestionable. You wear them when needed. You drop them when alone. This is how power moves. This is how legends are crafted, not from loud authenticity, but from controlled illusion. You are no longer here to be seen for who you are. You are here to become who no one can read, and therefore, no one can reach. You do not rise by being available. You rise by becoming selective, brutal with your energy, unapologetic with your access. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you bleed power. Every time you explain yourself to people who haven't earned it, you devalue your presence. Understand this. Boundaries are not walls, they are fortresses. They don't just protect your time, they preserve your throne. Most men are walking invitations, accessible to anyone with a sob story or a compliment. And that's why they're drained, distracted, and ultimately defeated. But not you. From now on, your presence is earned, not assumed. Your time is sacred, guarded like a war map. And your attention? That's a currency most can't afford. Machiavelli warned that rulers who try to be loved by all often fall, not by enemies, but by false friends and entitled parasites. You must start filtering your life with precision. Who demands but never contributes? Who flatters, then drains? Who tests your limits with fake humility? These aren't people, they're liabilities. If someone flinches at your boundaries, good. That means they were benefiting from your lack of them. Let them call you cold. Let them call you harsh. Let them leave. You don't need their comfort. You need control. You're not here to be liked. You're here to build. And no empire is built on emotional handouts. Practice saying no without tone, without explanation, without tension. No is not cruelty, it's clarity. It doesn't need punctuation or apology. It just needs to be real. Your job isn't to convince people of your worth. Your job is to make access to you so rare that its value multiplies in silence. Audit your circle like a general planning a campaign. Only those who bring discipline, loyalty, or elevation should pass your gates. Everyone else? Let them knock. Let them wonder. Let them miss you. Because your distance creates gravity. And your boundaries build respect. You are not rejecting people. You are selecting your future. Say it. Live it. Enforce it. From this moment forward, your boundaries are law. Non-negotiable. Friendship is emotional. Alliance is strategic. And the strategist doesn't move through life with sentiment clouding his vision. You were taught to surround yourself with people who made you feel safe, but safety is not power. Loyalty based on comfort is not loyalty at all. The men who rise do so because their circles are forged in clarity, not nostalgia, not shared vices, not emotional history. Look around. Do the people closest to you elevate your thinking, sharpen your discipline, hold you accountable? Or do they pacify your weakness, distract you with mediocrity, and clap for your stagnation? If they don't build your empire, they're silently chipping away at it. Machiavelli wrote that it's better to be feared than loved, but better still to be respected through strength. Your allies should serve your mission, not your ego. If a relationship drains you, it's not a connection, it's a leak. Cut it. With precision. With finality. The strategist doesn't collect people for company. He filters for alignment. Shared vision. Shared standard. Shared purpose. Every connection from now on must have a role. They build with you, protect your blind spot, or challenge your complacency. Anything else is noise. And noise is death to a focused mind. The loudest man in the room is the weakest. He reveals his fears through volume, his desperation through over-explaining, and his insecurity through constant speech. But the silent man? He commands the atmosphere without effort. Silence is not absence. It's tension. It's calculation. It's control. And those who master it rule. Every time you speak, you reveal a card. Every time you react, you bleed leverage. Silence lets others expose themselves while you remain unreadable. The strategist uses it like a blade, precise, devastating, and never wasted. Train yourself to speak last. Watch first. Feel the rhythm of the room. Gather the data. Let the silence pull out their truths. Let the discomfort work for you. When you finally speak, let it shift the air. Not with noise, but with weight. That's the voice of power. Let people misunderstand you. Let them wonder. Let them fill the silence with their projections and insecurities. That mystery is your shield. And silence is your armor. Pleasure is the leash around most men's necks. Disguised as freedom, it's the most seductive trap. One click. One scroll. One indulgence. Each one trades empire for a dopamine hit. And every time you choose the high, you sell your future cheap. Machiavelli didn't speak of comfort, he spoke of endurance, of foresight, of ruthlessness toward impulse. If you cannot delay gratification, you will be a slave to those who can. Your discipline is not punishment. It's the blueprint for greatness. Every time you walk past temptation, you lay another brick in your fortress. The man who can say no to what feels good now is the man who becomes unstoppable later. While others burn for pleasure, you become the fire they can't touch. You think there's a finish line, a point where it all settles, where you rest. That's the final illusion. Power is not something you gain. It's something you defend. Every single day. The strategist knows. Comfort is decay in disguise. The crown you earn today must be re-earned tomorrow. This world doesn't care who you used to be. It only asks, what are you building now? You never stop sharpening. Never stop refining. Not because you love the grind, but because you know what stopping costs: edge. And once your edge dulls, you invite attack. You are not here to relax. You are here to reign. With systems. With silence. With standards no one sees but everyone feels. There is no final war. Just the next one. No final version of you. Just the next evolution. This is no longer about being better. This is about becoming unbreakable. You're not just a man. You are a blueprint. A weaponized will. Sharpened by pain. Refined by silence. Guarded by boundaries. Focused by strategy. Let others seek approval. Let them chase highs. Let them rest on past victories. You are the storm in human form. And now the world will feel what you've built in the dark. Comment below. I am the architect of my power. Then build like it. Rule like it. Never stop. Because this isn't motivation. This is war. And you were born to win it.